Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we give you video number 1 of 2. I did warn you guys yesterday in the second video that there could be maybe just 1 today or 2, but it could be late. No, that's all been moved for tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled. Tomorrow there might be just 1, there might be 2, but if there is 2, the first one will probably be very late on in the day or very early, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. And in order for you to do that, you have to make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button, so make sure you're hitting that now. Hit the notification bell to be notified and enjoy. Also, check out social media links, they are on screen and in the description for you. Hit us to follow and check out all the extra opinions and thoughts as they come out wherever the spectrum is at the moment, so make sure you're having a look over there, much appreciated. Let's get cracking. Yesterday's video was a big insight into Chelsea Football Club after the Bournemouth 0-0 and where we feel like we're heading and the fixtures coming up and how it's not looking good and all of that. Well, yesterday I gave you video number 1 and that was explaining my initial thoughts. Video number 2 was more of a news video but also touching upon the things in relation to Chelsea Football Club. And one key thing that many fans seem to have is that Chelsea don't have an in-and-out striker. Not just Chelsea fans. I did reference the non-Chelsea fans that were pinpointing this, and they keep plowing this through, that the big problem at Chelsea is you ain't got a striker. That's it. If you sort that out, everything will be okay. I genuinely don't think that's the case. I think, yes, there is an argument in terms of the striker, but I don't think that's the be-all and end-all. I think that's a part of the problem, but I don't think that's the whole problem. There are people that genuinely think... I saw Mark Goldbridge earlier on, and fair play, because he's got a point when he does say that if you're spending $1 billion, you take a big portion of that, 150, and throw that at Napoli and go and get Victor Osimhen. It makes sense. It makes sense, right? It does make sense. But is that going to be the one that solves everything? No. Because as much as we know that we're waiting for Nkunku to come back, we do need a creative number 10, right? Nkunku comes back, we have that number 10. I think Jackson's game has been compromised by the fact that he's having to drop deeper than usual in order to compensate for the fact that there is no creative player. However, I don't like what Poch is doing when he doesn't give a Cole Palmer, for example, who can play in that position, a chance to play in that role or to start and see how we do when we don't have a number 10. So there is that. And I think that a lot of the focus has been on a striker. Chelsea fans and some have said that we should have gone Vlahovic. We should have got Vlahovic in the summer and we wouldn't be hearing any of this, because even in situations where we've seen Jackson miss, Vlahovic would have buried it. Now, it's all ifs and whats and maybes. I don't really... It's hard to pinpoint. I'd like to think Vlahovic would bury those chances, absolutely, because he's experienced enough. I feel like he's had more than enough time to be able to refine his game in order to finish those sort of chances, you'd think. But... you never know. You never know. I look at a Victor Osimhen and I think accomplished. Fully. Like with Osimhen, you can just see that that's a striker you can trust. You can just trust. With Vlahovic, there's still question marks, although you would think that he would have the capacity to bury those chances. So, was there a legit chance of Vlahovic coming to Chelsea in the summer? That's the question. Let's get into it, because we have news. Here's Fabrizio Romano. Vlahovic could have joined Chelsea, but Pochettino wasn't convinced of him. And we were hearing this at the time of the window, that Pochettino wasn't a fan. And that's why we didn't get the deal done with Juve with Lukaku. And Lukaku ended up at Roma. We didn't want to get Vlahovic in return and having to pay money on top in order for them to take Lukaku. We just wanted money for Lukaku. And Juventus were not going to entertain that. But that's only half the story. Because we were also hearing, and today we're getting this now, which is, check this out. Dusan Vlahovic always wanted to stay at Juventus in the summer. He was never convinced of leaving. Now he is open to extend his contract with the club. We remember hearing this. That Vlahovic wanted to stay, and it was more Juventus that were happy to offload if Lukaku was going to come the other way. If they were going to get a replacement. They would happily, simply for financial reasons, they would get Lukaku, they'd get 35 million on top, and they would let go of Vlahovic. They would have a striker, and they would get more money. It's purely financial. I think they're happy keeping Vlahovic, but in terms of how tight it is in Serie A, and many of these teams in Serie A that are having financial problems, this would have helped them. But it never happened. Chelsea clearly not willing to do it. And Vlahovic never really wanted to leave Juventus in the first place. So this is where we have to ask. We're talking about Vlahovic this and Vlahovic that. Was there ever a chance of him even coming to Chelsea in the first place? I'd like to think no. No. It was never going to happen. It was never going to happen, I think, unless Chelsea were willing to just let Lukaku go and pay 35 million on top, which even me at the time I was saying don't do it. That's just stupid. We should be able to get some sort of money for Lukaku, not have to give money away in order to let go of Lukaku, you know. And yes, we would be getting a striker as a replacement on top of that in Vlahovic, but yeah, realistically, you'd think that we would be getting a better deal. Now, in hindsight, we didn't actually go to get another striker except for Nicholas Jackson, which now leads to the rumours of Ivan Toney in January. So, yes, should we have gone and got a striker anyway? Probably so, yes. You know, and not just have Nicholas Jackson on his ones. We're waiting for Armando Broja to come back, and I can already see people expecting way too much from Armando Broja. I'm not expecting complete goals galore from Armando Broja. But at the same time, there's a reason for that. I'm not expecting goals from anybody that plays up front for Chelsea at the moment. Because I'm seeing critique for Nicholas Jackson in relation to the chances that he's missed. And there are a couple of chances that he missed in the last game against Bournemouth. There was chances against Forest, the one especially where he's 2 yards out. But there's chances and there's chances. There's chances where he has taken the shot and the goalkeeper's made a save. That happens to everybody. Erling Haaland has been missing chances. But the thing is, Erling Haaland has had enough service and enough chances put to his feet that he's going to bury one or two. He's just going to. But if you look at Erling Haaland, you see some of the things that he's missed, and it's like, yo, Haaland missed that. Whoa, how's he missed that? But then 10 minutes later, oh, Haaland scored, guys. That's how it is. That's how it is. But at Chelsea, there isn't that. At Chelsea, it's, oh, he's missed. He's missed a sitter. Okay. That's it. That's all he's getting. Or he's had a couple of chances. Keeper's made a save. That's it. That's all he's getting. Why? And I always go back to this, I think, and this is what Poch needs to address. We need to get someone playing in that 10. We have to. Because you see Nicholas Jackson dropping way too deep, and then he's having to make runs, and when he does make runs, he has a Sterling or a Gallagher like we saw against Bournemouth, not actually feeding him when he's clearly got a run on. Instead, we're going sideways. It's annoying. The whole thing, this is why I'm saying there's Jackson to blame in certain chances, like against Forest, where he's 2 yards out. I'm sorry, that's on Jackson. There was one chance against Bournemouth that he had, the shot that he decided to take where he's just hitting it into row M, right, or wherever. And there was absolutely no reason to shoot, but he hit it and it was just stupid. It's stupid. That's on Nicholas Jackson. That's me looking and going, brother, what are you doing? You know? So you got to differentiate. Should Chelsea have ended up getting a striker elsewhere, though? Yeah. Probably so. Probably so. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen in the coming days when we're probably going to start hearing more about Ivan Toney, I reckon. Do you think Ivan Toney should come to Chelsea? That's another debate. I spoke about it yesterday, and I do hear some of the concerns. There are concerns that he betted against his own club, right? Now, I don't think he'll come to Chelsea and bet against his own club. I don't think he's going to commit the same offence in terms of betting. He's going to have to stop. But, yeah, you have to look at the character and you have to look at the personality and what type of person he is. And is he a liability? Is he a liability? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, we spoke about the goalkeeping department yesterday as well and us being linked with Aaron Ramsdale. Well, the Standard today have come out with something. Here it is. Should Robert Sanchez and Petrovic underperform, then Aaron Ramsdale could become a possibility, although it is thought Chelsea's main priority in January will be a striker. Again, look, I said this yesterday. If we're going for Aaron Ramsdale, we should just shut shop. Just shut the club. You know, like I said yesterday, just give us a transfer ban. Just give us a transfer ban at this point because it's getting ridiculous. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I don't think we should go for Ramsdale. Look, we've got Sanchez. We're going to have to run with him. Cool. That doesn't mean make a change or try and get someone else in that we know is going to be unhappy if they're not playing. Petrovic is going to be understandably not playing. He would know that, okay, I'm not playing. Cool. I'm not there yet. Fantastic. You've got to have a number one, number two structure in terms of your goalkeepers. You can't have two goalkeepers that are at your club just trying to... Well, healthy competition is good. But two goalkeepers that know that they are number one, it just doesn't work, man. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. One has to drop to the bench and that will be unhappy. That person will be unhappy. You got to have a compromise and someone that's going to understand that they are the number 2 figure and work, try your best, try and get to that number 1 spot. But they've got to know their role, as The Rock used to say. Now, talking about knowing our roles, I knew this would happen. Check this out. Chelsea are set to be without Romeo Lavia for at least another month after he twisted his ankle in training. That's come from Nizar Kinsella. You just knew. I said this a few days ago, that there's been no update on Lavia, right, since we got the initial 6-week rumour. And then we're nearly about 2 weeks down the line now. I said that there'd be nothing. And then eventually Chelsea might come out and go, he's out for a month. Right? Just to make it sound a little better than it actually is. Yeah, not as bad as it actually is. Right? Here we are. We're now hearing that he's going to be out for a month, right? That's going to, in the ears of many people, that's going to be like, oh, that's just 4 weeks, right? It's not the end of the world. Yeah, but he's been out for the last 2. Do you know what I mean? So, no Lavia. Anyway, we still don't know what to expect with Romeo Lavia, let's be honest. We know Caicedo will be back for Aston Villa. Same goes for Madueke. Madueke will be available for Aston Villa as well. So, look, no one's going to be able to use any excuses. I said yesterday, in terms of the injuries that we have, out of the 12, there's only a select handful that are legit, starters, players that come into the team immediately. You're looking at Reece James, possibly, even though we got Gusto. You're looking at Caicedo. Nkunku is number 1 for sure, right? But apart from those guys, everyone else is going to be, realistically, rotation. We're not exactly waiting for Trevor Chalobah to come back now, are we? You see the point? So when you're looking at everyone else that's injured, you're looking at Caicedo, of course, he'd come into the team. You're looking at Nkunku, he's going to come in January. Reece James welcomed back because he's the captain. But apart from that, everyone else is all not really going to play. So let's see what's going to happen when Caicedo rocks up. Same goes for Madueke, because Madueke on that right-hand side, despite Sterling playing on the left, I think Mudrik's going to get some game time. Madueke probably won't even play. That's the reality. Or Sterling shifts over to the left probably after 60 minutes. Then we bring on Madueke, and then he only has half an hour. I legit think that's going to happen. So let me know your thoughts. Would you start Madueke? And where do you see Caicedo fitting in? Would you start Caicedo against Aston Villa? I think that's a non-question. I think all of you will say yes, because I would say yes. So let's wait and see what's going to happen there. Now, to wrap up, we've got news from elsewhere and important news, but we're going to start off with this first. Here's the latest on Julian Nagelsmann. German DFB now close to completing the formal agreement to appoint Julian Nagelsmann as the new head coach of the national team, as Christian Falk reported today. Details being discussed on salary as he will take a pay cut. Bayern are prepared to terminate Julian's contract. So there we are. Nagelsmann's finally found a job, and it's the national team. I expected him to take a club. I'll be honest. Club football, I think, is where he should be, not just jumping onto a national team vibe this early. He's a young manager, but it's all that's available when we're being realistic. He had the chance to come to Chelsea, turned that down. He had the chance to come to Tottenham, turned that down. He had the chance to take PSG, turned that down. He's got Germany. He's going to have to deal with it. So I genuinely think Germany will be better with Nagelsmann. That's for sure. I think they will play better than they did under Hansi Flick. I'd like to think so anyway. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think Nagelsmann will end up being a very good manager for Germany, the national team, or do you think he will struggle? Let me know down below. I think they have all the tools to be able to make it work, and I think he seems like he's a good man manager. And that's what you need in the national team, because you've got the talent. At a national team level, you've got players that are quality. You're not having to scout. There's no scouting. You're picking the best. So at that point, it's about your relationship. It's about how to make sure that there's relationships in the team and how they blend together and how they get the best out of each other. Because they're all established footballers, or they should be. So let me know. I think he'll do well. Now, to wrap up, bad news coming out of Milan. We've got Champions League football that is starting tonight. And video number 2, later on, unless there's big developments on something, will be Champions League. We're going to talk Champions League and my thoughts on the games tonight. We've got big games, PSG versus Dortmund, AC Milan versus Newcastle. It's all going to start tomorrow. We've got Bayern Munich versus Manchester United. That's going to be interesting, as well as we have to keep tabs on Man City, Arsenal, of course, in the Champions League. But Newcastle are playing AC Milan, and Newcastle fans went off to AC Milan. Now, we've got the sad news. Thankfully, it's not too sad, but it's not nice. It's not nice. Anyway, here it is. 58-year-old Newcastle fan Eddie McKay was stabbed by men in balaclavas last night. He is now stable in hospital. His daughter Rachel has issued the following statement. My dad is stable but in shock. He is gutted he's missing the match, but just wants every other Newcastle out there to be aware of this and be safe. He just had 2 knee replacements, so he fell when he was being chased, and that is when he was attacked. I'm flying out there. Thoughts are with Eddie and his family at this difficult time. There is a picture. I'm not going to show you that. It's mad. It's mad. He's on the ground getting treatment, but he was stabbed, and I think he was stabbed in the back, if I'm being completely honest. That's how it looked anyway, in terms of the treatment and where they were padding. It seemed like it was on his back. I want to say this, right? There's no excuse to be able to go to a football game and people are getting knives out and whatnot. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I do want to emphasize on this because I know the English culture, and I'm not saying he's guilty of this, absolutely not. But like I said, anyone going to a football match or showing some atmosphere, there's no excuse. But what I will advise to English fans, right, going out to places like Italy, right, where there's hotheads, you have to behave. You have to behave, and not just behave in terms of, don't sing and don't chant. No, go and sing, go and chant. People actually love that sort of atmosphere over there. But you have to be careful. There is a culture. There is a thing elsewhere. When you're looking at countries like Italy, countries that across the Mediterranean, where there's a hot temper, the way that they perceive the English like a bunch of hooligans. That's how they see us. They look at us and go, they're troublemakers, right? So at the first sign of craziness, there's people that don't mess about over there, man. Look, we're hearing balaclavas, knives, all sorts. You don't really get that here in England. Used to be back in the days of hooliganism, but that's where the reputation has come of. Now, other fans from elsewhere look at the English coming over and they go, oh, they're gonna cause trouble. The first sign that they see of the English having some beers and whatnot, getting leery, getting in the streets and causing a bit of atmosphere, causing a bit of raucous. All it takes is one bad gesture for things to kick off. And when they kick off, not the English, when the others kick off, trust me, they mean it. They mean it. They don't mess about. They do not mess about. There's some Italians, Spanish, some French, Greeks, Turks. They don't mess about. So you have to be careful. I feel like there is a thing within the English that we take it for granted. We go over there and we try to make ourselves look like the big boys, right? Down the beers, come on, let's have it, lads. And then there's consequences. Because it's not like here in England where it's just banter. We understand the banter. They don't understand the banter. They look at the English going over there and go, nah, man, I'm not having this. They don't mess about. So English fans going away, please, when you're going to these sort of places, especially like Italy. Italy are renowned for this. They don't play. Keep things on the down low. For your own safety, keep things on the low. Keep things on the low. At the stadium, go crazy. Not a problem because they're going crazy and they understand it in the stadium. And their security and their safety. But outside the bars, in the streets, keep it low. Please keep it low. For your own safety, keep it low. So there we are. But in relation to this fan, I mean, he's a dad. He's 58. I wouldn't think that someone at that age is causing a ruckus. And he's paid a consequence for something that he probably didn't even do. But Newcastle fans going over there as a group, we just know how it is. We know how it is. So I wish him the best and I hope that he's okay. He seems like he's stable and he's okay. So just a word of safety for all the English fans going out into Europe. Just be careful. Please be careful. Please be careful. Because they don't get the same banter like we do. They don't understand it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you later on tonight as we actually decipher the Champions League. We'll look into how the results are going to go between Newcastle and AC Milan. And we look into Paris Saint-Germain against Borussia Dortmund. And any additional news that comes our way, I'll give you my thoughts on that. So make sure you guys are there for that. Thank you all so much. And to be there for that, you have to make sure that you're hitting the subscribe button. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded, smash the like button if you have enjoyed this, and don't forget, check out the socials. They are on screen and in the description for you. Let me know your comments in the comment section below, and I will see all of you later on tonight. Bring on the Champions League. And as a Chelsea fan, right, we're not exactly really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this as a footballing fan, but as a Chelsea fan, my club are going to be playing dominoes or cards or I don't know. We're not involved this year, unfortunately. Probably a reason why the group stage doesn't even seem that exciting. But we're going to go through it anyway. So make sure you guys are here for that. Thank you so much. And I will see all of you later on tonight. Take care, people. See you later. Have a good one. and peace.